GGRC. Hey everybody, and welcome to another trailer reaction for E3 2018 here on GGRC. I'm RC, and right now we're going to be taking a look at Spider-Man. Now, this was one of the 4 top games that they were showing at the PlayStation press conference tonight. One was Spider-Man. One was Ghost of Tsushima, which we've already covered, and I think is a great game, at least from what we could tell in the trailers. We also had Death Stranding, which I wasn't super impressed with. It seemed okay. Past years that they've shown it, I was a little bit more intrigued by it, but this year, I don't know. It didn't do a whole lot for me. It just opens up more questions, and it doesn't explain much of what we're trying to do or what we're trying to understand with that game. And the other one they led off with was The Last of Us 2, which looks like an amazing game, but it looks way too intense for me. It's not a game that I think I would ever play because I never played the first one based on the same thing. I'm not the biggest fan of stealth. I feel like I'm saying that a lot this year, but I'm not into stealth a lot of the times. I can take light stealth, but man, when it gets too stealthy, that's when my heart starts pounding and I can't get into it. And Last of Us 2 looks like it was mostly that. But the game of the show for me, from the PlayStation Sony show there, was Spider-Man. This looks amazing. Now, I already said that Ghost of Tsushima already looks like a system seller game for me. It looks like a game that I would buy day one if I bought a PlayStation 4. Spider-Man is somehow like higher on that block. You know, when I saw this actually playing out today, I was just like, oh my god, this game looks amazing. And, you know, I've seen it over the past couple years when they show it, the little pieces of gameplay they show and everything. But this year, I believe that what they're showing here is actually, I would assume, is the introduction to the game. And it is intensely impressive. If it's not the introduction, maybe it's like halfway through or whatever. I don't know. Be interesting if they are actually showing the end, the final showdown of the game already. It kind of feels that way when you're watching the trailer, when you see how many of Spider-Man's enemies are involved. But regardless, let's check out the trailer so that way you guys can check out how awesome this game looks. East River, New York City. Supermax Prison.
Is secure, but I can't reach them over radio. Their comms must be down. What's your status?
Already here.
Yuri? I thought you said it was secure.
Yeah, villains in superhero games and movies always want to go to the prison to get prisoners out. It's just like, it's a thing that always happens, isn't it?
But in my experience, when it looks bad, it's usually worse.
What they call a comic book trope, I think, right? Happens in pretty much every Batman game where they feature Arkham, right?
I'm slipping. Gotcha. Hold on.
He tried to save it.
You okay?
Yeah.
Welcome to the party! Just in time for the fireworks!
Looks like we made parole, boys!
I'm out!
Electro, why is he letting everyone out?
I'll head for the main control center and see how bad the situation is.
Got it. I'll go join the party.
Here we go, a little bit of Spider-Man fighting.
Go back into your cells and lock the door behind you. Okay? Please?
The combo stuff there looks really cool. But of course, the fighting is very Batman Arkham Asylum. So if you're into that kind of combat system, I mean, you're gonna like this.
Like fish in a barrel. That doesn't sound good. Oh, hi, Rhino.
Hope you like surprise, Spider!
So count them. You've already seen 2 villains so far, but there's a lot more.
Hey, what's your status?
Me? Just trapped in a prison with every criminal I've put away in the last 8 years. No biggie.
Electro must be working for someone. He's not
This is too good to be true.
Scorpion, can you hold on a minute? I was in the middle of a phone call and it was business. Ah!
course, Spider-Man comes with his wit in this game as well, but he's not overdoing it, which is good.
Lost you for a second there. You okay?
Not really. Electro, Rhino, and now Scorpion are all on the loose. What's going on in the rest of the prison?
Camera system's almost up. I'll give you a sit rep soon.
Okay, I'll keep tracking Electro.
That would hurt like hell, getting hit with a shield like that.
Whoa! Come on, Spider-Man. I thought this was a chase.
Gotta stop this guy.
So what's cool is during this whole scene, you can tell this is all gameplay because you're seeing all the button prompts as it goes through.
Can't stop it. But I'm flattered that you still try.
Nobody ever takes me up on that offer.
Gotcha. Vulture! What?
Long time no see. We're going to have so much fun.
Oh, that's all it took.
Still with me, huh?
So you can tell here they're just kind of introducing all the villains that are going to be in the game.
How's it look?
Well, it looks like the entire population of the raft has escaped. That makes 5 of your worst enemies that are now on the loose.
So far.
For a second there, I thought you were serious.
I am serious. I have to go. Some of them are heading into the city.
This is nuts.
That web slinging right there, right before he got to this part, looked really, really fast, too. I was almost wondering, like, man, how are you going to know which way to go and everything? But maybe it's a little bit more obvious when you're playing it.
Keep chasing. Party's almost over.
Timed events. This is a hell of an introduction to a game if this is the intro.
Electro, stop! How do you like my new suit?
Dashing. Where'd you get it?
It's an exclusive club.
Now this guy I thought looked really wild. He looks like they just, you know, took his colors and inverted them, you know? But it's nice to see that they made a Spider-Man game and they didn't immediately throw Venom in there.
Dead, not to kill him.
Good idea. In fact, we don't have to do this at all if you don't want to.
We definitely want to. Ah!
Stabbed by the Scorpion. Gotta get away, Spider-Man. Live to fight another day.
You?
So the coolest part about this game is that it's coming out in September. It's just a few months away. I really thought that this was going to be like a November, December release, you know, for the holidays and whatnot. But they're releasing this in early September. I think it said September 8th of 2018. That really caught me off guard. So like, man, this game is just, it's available for everybody in just a few months, and so cool. Looks so great. It looks like they put so much work and so much polish into the game, and it's just something that I really wish, another game here that I really wish I had a PS4 to play. It's one of those games where, like, as it nears release, I'm going to be, like, looking for deals on a PS4, I'm sure, to see if I can get one. But regardless, like, I don't really have much to say about this trailer other than that it just looks amazing. The Amazing Spider-Man looks amazing. You got plenty of, you know, really cool enemies to face. Venom is nowhere to be found, which is good because I think they really need to build the world before they bring Venom in, because chances are this is going to become a trilogy, or at least like a two-parter or something like that. And they're going to introduce Venom at some point to be in there, and they're probably going to want to make that a huge part of the game. And I'm glad they chose to like lay off of that, but it's really cool, that they created a game where you're going to be able to take on other villains besides Venom, because I feel like a lot of the other villains in the Spider-Man universe don't get a lot of face time. Basically, in the movies, you see a lot of the villains, but they just don't have the same oomph that Venom does. Everyone knows Venom because he was a part of like the Spider-Man cartoon series back in the 90s, right? And of course, when he came out, it was like a gigantic comic book series as well when he was introduced. But he has so many other villains that people don't even know about, and they really need to be exposed, so I'm glad that they're there. But regardless of all that, too, a lot of Spider-Man's abilities during combat look like a lot of fun. Some of the combos that he was doing, where he was using his web to, fling that shield around, or grabbing that cabinet and throwing it at people, jumping up in the air and throwing all the web at everybody to knock them all out. There's just a lot of great stuff going on here. So to me, this game just looks like a ton of fun. I know this is the introduction. It doesn't really, show off a whole lot of what's going on with the game as far as like how it's going to be in between, but I guarantee there's going to be, platforming on rooftops, finding collectibles up there, upgrading your spider suit in some way. I'm sure these are all things that are going to be in the game, but man, it just looks ridiculously amazing, and it's pretty interesting that it is a Sony PlayStation 4 exclusive. So again, going to be one of those games I'm going to be really, really trying to hold off on playing, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. But regardless, in conclusion, looks amazing. Well, that's another trailer reaction for E3 2018 here on GGRC. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that way you don't miss any other E3 trailer reactions that I have coming up. GG, everybody, and I'll see you all next time.
GGRC.